Toni VanderHeyden is back tonight, the team founder of Sold on Toni, part of Keller Williams Realty Signature. Thanks for coming in.
It's always a joy.
It is always good to talk about real estate because it is a hot topic for at least the last 5 years, I feel like it's been.
Yeah, that's probably as long as you've been thinking about it, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. So what's happening in real estate now for sellers and for buyers?
Sure. So here's your update, because y'all want to know what your update is every month. Sellers, it's still a good market for sellers because there's just not enough homes to sell, so that they pretty much are in the driver's seat. However, here's your fall news is don't expect all of the contracts or offers that we experienced in the spring of 2023. So you're still going to get great offers probably within the first 72 hours. However, they're not going to be as many, and we're starting to see that market level off.
Is that because of the season of the year, or is that just of this year?
I think it's economics. It's definitely, it's not just the season. It's mostly economics in that we're starting to get to that price point of a home where we're asking too much sometimes, right? And a buyer will firmly say no thank you. Sure. And so if a home is on the market, honestly, if it's on the market for more than 30 days, there's trouble. We need to reanalyze what's going on. Yeah.
So then on the buyer side, what's going on?
As far as the buyers go, just this last week, we are seeing that some home sellers are actually considering taking a home sale contingency. That is something that we just didn't see in the last, say, 12 months. Wow. So that's exciting to see that the buyers have a little more leeway when they go to offer on a home.
And that means that it's contingent on them selling their own house?
It is, and that's a little dicey for a seller. It's not a sure thing, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm starting to say, what? I can't believe that they're even considering that right now.
So that's definitely new. We haven't ever really talked about that.
No.
I have a phrase here that I know sounds funny, and I have a feeling I know what you're going to explain about it. Date the mortgage, marry the house.
Yes, exactly. So mortgage rates are rising, and we're not really in control of that. The feds have said they're going to put a pause on that, but we are expecting for them to go up later on this year. We'll see if that actually happens. And so when people need a house, for example, if you're upsizing or if you're downsizing and you need a house, you can't stop life. So marry the house and be committed to the house, but date the mortgage, because you can always refi that loan. And so honestly, life can't stop just because of what's happening in the economy. You need to go buy your house.
Yeah, and that's such a nice thing to get from an expert like you, because if you were trying to do this all by yourself, you would really stress out when you see that with the mortgage. You're like, I can't afford this, I don't know what to do. So it's nice to talk to somebody who does know what they're doing and to say, it's okay.
And after 20 years in the business, you pretty much see the ups, you see the downs, and you say, hey, you know what, this is okay, it's going to be okay. Marry the house. Date the mortgage.
Talking houses, how come we can't solve this problem by just building some more houses?
Well, it's a little bit crazy, and actually there's not enough homes. I was yesterday on the phone with the president of Keller Williams Realty, and he stated if we were to put 7 million homes out there in the U.S. right now, we still cannot catch up to the deficit. So if we could just build 7 million homes, 7 million, we'll be good. The challenge is that I don't believe there's enough government incentives for new builds. I know that Rockford is trying to offer some incentives, and that's fantastic. There needs to be more incentives as far as lesser price on land, incentives for builders to get out there and build. It's just very expensive to build a home right now. So we're working on that. The government's working on that, which is exciting.
All right, before we go, why is your company called Sold on Toni?
Well, it's a little play on words, and Sold on Toni, obviously we sell a lot of homes, right? But a lot of people are sold on us. For example, this last week, actually tomorrow, this house hits the market. It is a nice size home, it's 4,500 square foot, but these folks had to move to the East Coast, which is a lot more expensive to live on the East Coast than it is here. And so they needed all their money to go into that next house, and that left them without the ability to do some upgrades that I knew would make them more money. And that's my job, is to make them more money on this house. So I popped for all the upgrades. I got quartz installed in the house, we got new flooring, we had the entire inside painted, and now it looks fantastic, and I feel really good about that because they're gonna make more money, and that's my job. And so they're super excited. They're out on the East Coast. The house hits the market tomorrow, and I know we're putting our best foot forward. So that's one instance. Another one, right before I came here, I went through a house that I actually am going to buy in a few days. Whenever people are in a pickle and they don't know what to do, we can come in and buy your home. For example, in this situation, the fellow became very ill, and it was a divorce. So those are two things that are hard life situations.
Sure.
And so I buy the house, I work on what needs to be done. And in this one, it's going to be painting, it's going to be landscaping, it's going to be, a good amount of things done.
Yeah.
So we take that burden and then get it back on market for them, pay them a cash offer, and that's what happens. When death happens in families or divorce or illness, we're able to come in and help them. And I think that's why people are sold on Toni.
I think that is a real good reason. You can reach out to Toni all the ways that are on your screen right now, from Sold on Toni, Keller Williams Realty Signature. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Spirit Day is next. We're playing Talk or Toast with Lil Zim from Q98.5. Don't go anywhere.